This is a series of games in Attila the Great's Rome 2 tournament. The matchup is between KingofEast and Poccopacs, and we are seeing the battle from Poccopacs' point of view. We are having another Carthage versus Rome matchup. I don't know who picked and counterpicked, but for Carthage we have two late Libyan hoplites on the flanks, mercenary noble fighters, center of Gallic warriors, Libyan infantry, and mercenary Iberian swords, some mercenary Scutari cavalry, Carthaginian cavalry, and this is almost identical to the army Poccopacs used against me, with very good effect, mainly because he was able to utilize his war elephants to devastating effect against my sword-heavy Tyus army. For KingofEast we have 3 auxiliary Syrian archers, so the skirmish advantage is Rome's in this case. We have legionary cavalry, we have legionary cohorts, 2 hastati in the front, more legionary cohorts, so it looks like we have 2 evocati, 3 evocati, and 4 legionary cohorts, 2 hastati. Very strong sword line for Rome in this matchup. So Carthage is going to have to use their elephants to great effect to be able to win this. Just going to fast forward until something starts happening. Rome has the infantry advantage, the skirmishing advantage, while Carthage has the cavalry advantage and the elephants, of course. The elephants can absolutely smash this Roman infantry if they are used well, but they need to stay away from the auxiliary Syrian archers. And the Syrian archers can take care of both the elephants and the mercenary Iberian swords extremely quickly. So there are dangerous units on the field for both players here. Looks like both players are going to move up aggressively. Carthage, of course, wants to get its cavalry into the auxiliary Syrian archers. The auxiliary Syrian archers are moving very far ahead here, starting to fire. And firing at the Gallic warriors is fine, but I think I would have started firing at the mercenary Iberian swords because they're going to go down faster. We have Astati charging into the mercenary Scutari, rob them of their charge bonus for when the evocati is moving in. Legionary cohort is not getting attack orders on the mercenary noble fighters, so that's very bad for the legionary cohort. This legionary cohort is going to go down quickly, but the noble fighters are going to get charged by evocati. This would be a nice time to start using heavy shot on the mercenary noble fighters because they're going to destroy the legionary cohort. Evocati is going to destroy the mercenary Scutari. The Libyan infantry is going to do well against the evocati cohort because there are mercenary Iberian swords supporting. So it looks like Rome's skirmishers are going to be in a pretty dangerous situation here. Going to run straight into the Libyan infantry, not be able to fire at the elephants, and now they're just going to get destroyed by the mercenary Iberian swords. So Carthage is definitely getting the best of the opening stages of this battle, being able to engage very well with their strong infantry. Rome doesn't really have a response to the mercenary noble fighters. They're going to tear through these legionary cohorts and do a lot of damage. Carthage's cavalry manages to get into the back line of Rome, and now Rome is open for rail charges. The auxiliary Syrian archers are open. The elephants are not even used yet, so when the skirmishers are off the field, Rome does not have a response to the elephants, and the elephants are going to start tearing through the lines of Rome. The fair effect is going to start to make itself felt. The elephants are smashing through both evocati in the center. The evocati are just going to go down so quickly to this elephant assault. There are no units that can stop the elephants now, and we'll see their kills just start to increase amazingly fast. Some javelins could make them run amok here, but when elephants are running like this, it's going to be very difficult to attack them with javelins, because the javelins aim for the center of the unit, and when the center of the unit is away from some of the elephants are going to be able to make contact before the javelins start coming, like well, those were auxiliary infantry, so they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. But Carthage is very decisively using its elephants now, destroying the infantry of Rome. Roman center has buckled. This auxiliary infantry is going to get smashed. The elephants will just continue to rampage through the lines of Rome. A very good counter unit to Rome. No elephants are dead yet. They're going to smash this unit. The kills are just increasing amazingly fast on the elephants. And there is nothing Rome can do at this point. The Roman infantry is doing well against the infantry of Carthage, even destroying the mercenary noble fighters. But the elephants are going to end this game in favor of Carthage fairly decisively. So this is a pretty typical battle when you have infantry heavy armies going up against elephants. If the elephants aren't dealt with, they will basically be able to clean up the entire enemy infantry line. Although the infantry of Carthage is losing the battle, the elephants unopposed are going to wreck entire armies. So very nice elephant use by Carthage here. The Syrians came back. They are depleted, but they still could make the elephants run amok. I think it's a bit too late for Rome though. The Hastati are going to go down to mercenary Iberian swords, and he's very wisely pulling away his African war elephants, charging the Syrians. But the flaming shot from just 40 Syrians is not enough to make the elephants run amok instantly. The loss of the Roman infantry is going down, and now it's just a matter of chasing down the Syrian archers with the mercenary noble fighters, and this is a GG. So elephants used in this way, very devastating. Take care of the enemy skirmishers and use the elephants to destroy the entire enemy army. 380 kills, very nice use of elephants. So the legionary units did very well. They killed all the infantry of Carthage basically, but since the archers weren't able to counter the elephants finished the game in favor of Poccopacs. In the next battle, we have KingofEast commanding Tyus and Poccopacs commanding Rome. We're going to see sword spam against sword spam, not a lot of skirmishers on either side. And in this matchup, Tyus is more than a match for the swords of Rome. Rome did not bring elephants, which I think was a bit strange, but we have Sucii Equites and auxiliary cavalry. We have Vigiles, we have a line of Evocati, Hastati, legionary cohorts. Very standard Roman build. For Tyus, we have 2 units of raiding horse, we have 3 units of levy freemen. Very strong sword line consisting of, let's see, we have 3 Oathsworn, we have 3 tribal warriors, no, 2 Gallo-Thracians, some more tribal warriors and Gallo-Thracians. So extremely strong sword line from Tyus here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 very good swords. Rome has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swords, I think. But the swords of Tyus are much better than the swords of Rome in this case. The challenge for Tyus is that Tyus doesn't have any cavalry aside from these raiding horse. So if Rome is able to keep its cavalry alive to rob these units of their charge bonuses and then get their legionary cohorts in, then they could defeat the very strong Tylian sword line. But if Tyus manages to get its charges in against the Roman infantry is not going to be able to stand up to the Tyus sword line. So elephants in this matchup would be very good for Rome if he was able to keep them away from the raiding horse. Smart use of levy freemen here, so he can potentially stop the Sucii Equites from charging into his sword line. But it looks like he's going to use the levy freemen to protect his rear and go for charges. We should see Rome charging in against important units now and stop the charge bonus of Tyus. Very nicely done by Rome here. They're going to get good charges. They're going to lose a lot of these engagements, but very nice in taking out the levy freemen and then following up. But since the cavalry pulled out, the Tyus line is still going to get their charge bonuses, and that's going to be pretty devastating for Rome to get charged by all of these very good sword units. The raiding horse being chased away, I don't know about using the Sucii Equites to chase them, because they're going to take a lot of casualties. I think it would have been better to just chase them with Vigiles and to screen, and then use the cavalry to go into the back lines of Tyus. The auxiliary Syrian archers are not protected, so the raiding horse is going to be able to make it into the auxiliary Syrian archers, stop them from firing, very important. And Rome is losing all across the line to the good sword line of Tyus. Raiding horse being very effective in neutralizing Rome's cavalry advantage and keeping the Roman cavalry units in the back lines. taking down a lot of Roman cavalry. Here we have very important rear charges coming in from the Socii Equites. They need to do this a lot in order to make this work. Rear charges against Oathsworn coming in, but I think it's a bit too late for the Roman line here. There are too many good sword units up against them, although these Socii Equites are doing very nice work with rear charging. It probably came a bit too late. Tyus is mopping up the cavalry and the archers of Rome in the back line. Socii Equites getting charged by Levy Freemen. The Levy Freemen are going to do well in that exchange. And the Oathsworn of Tyus are chopping through Roman legionaries really quickly. At this point, Tyus has a 2 decisive infantry advantage. There isn't really a lot of cavalry left for Rome available for rear charges. The raiding horse are taking care of auxiliary Syrian archers. They're even taking care of the legatus. The Levy Freemen are holding their own against Vigiles and Socii Equites. So now it's just a matter of grinding it out against the Roman infantry for the Tylian force. I'll just fast forward a bit, because this is at this point it's a GG. Rome has no response to the swords left. They're going to summarily defeat the Roman infantry, and I would have liked to see elephants from Rome in this matchup. If they would have been able to keep the elephants away from the raiding horse, I think they could have done a lot of damage. Imagine that first charge being done with elephants instead of just auxiliary cavalry. Could have been devastating, but still very difficult for Rome to face this heavy sword army if Rome isn't able to use its cavalry decisively enough, and Rome wasn't able to in this case. So the King of East took it home with his very strong Tyus army here. The Roman legionary units did well. The Socii Equites did okay as well, but there were just too many good swords on the field. The elite swords, the Oathsworn, are going to tear through Roman infantry really quickly if they get the charge. So that means that we will have a third battle. And this battle is Egypt versus Pontus. King of East is commanding Egypt and Poccopacs is commanding Pontus. So we're looking at this battle from the Pontic side, and Pontus has naked swords that are too cheap at the moment. They cost 380 instead of 480, so a glitch made by CA that is going to allow Pontus to bring an extra unit. So if Pontus goes for 4 mercenary naked swords, Pontus is going to afford an extra unit of mercenary Celtic warriors, which is pretty massive. For Pontus we have 4 noble blood, scythed chariot, Pontic royal cavalry, 1 eastern archer, a front line consisting of 5 Thureos spears, 4 mercenary naked swords, 4 mercenary Celtic warriors, so very good low tier sword build from Pontus. We have 3 Tarentines for Egypt up front, 3 Egyptian infantry speed bumps, light peltasts, then we have 2 Nubian spears on the flanks, a center of Galatian Royal Guard thorax swords, and Royal Thorax Swordsman General. So the cavalry advantage goes to Pontus. The mercenary Cushite shield women, don't see those often. The infantry advantage, I'm tempted to give that to Pontus as well, because of all of the naked swords. And Egypt doesn't really have a response to this Pontic army the way I see it. The Pontic sword line is going to do a lot of damage to the infantry of Egypt, and then we of course have the chariot. There is no response to the chariots on Egypt's side. They don't have very heavy shock cavalry that is going to be able to stop the chariots very effectively. So the two Egyptian cavalry are going to get destroyed by the chariots, and we'll see how it goes. Thureos moving up to screen against the Tarentines. Egyptian infantry moving up to screen against chargers from the Pontic sword line. We have noble blood cavalry coming in, trying to get at the Egyptian infantry. The Egyptian infantry is pulling back and allowing the mercenary Cushite shield women to pull up. Egyptian infantry moving up. Mercenary Celtic warriors are counter-charging, and they're going to destroy the Egyptian infantry on the charge. Super decisive charge by the mercenary Celtic warriors. Very nicely done by Pontis in pulling away and allowing the mercenary Celtic warriors to destroy the Egyptian infantry. Thorax swords are going to countercharge the mercenary Celtic warriors, and then the Celtic warriors are going to die. Egyptian infantry being fired upon here, and another unit of Celtic warriors charging in against the Egyptian infantry, destroying the Egyptian infantry. So I would actually ban the mercenary naked swords in a tournament now, because they are too cheap and they will allow Pontus to bring more troops than the enemy is going to bring. Kushite shield women against Celtic warriors. The Kushite shield women have a nice charge bonus, but they can't stand up to this, especially not when charged by Celtic warriors. Celtic warriors have a very good charge bonus of 25. The chariots haven't even started to kill yet, and already this is looking very bad for Egypt. Mercenary naked swords are being destroyed by royal thorax swords, but the chariots are going to start moving through the infantry of Egypt pretty soon. Thorax swords being charged by mercenary naked swords is going to go poorly for the thorax swords. The mercenary naked swords are holding for some time against the royal thorax swords, which allows the Thureos to do some damage to the royal thorax swords. The noble blood cavalry is being caught by Egyptian cavalry and Kushite shield women, but here we have the chariots running through, getting a lot of kills against Nubian spears. And here you can see just how many javelins are missing these chariots, because I think the hitboxes are bugged. They are firing at the center of the unit and they won't aim for individual chariots, so that is a very decisive problem with how chariots work. Now they're able to get some hits in against the chariots, but overall this is not looking good for Egypt. The Galatian Royal Guard is being neutralized now by scythe chariots. The chariots are taking some damage, but if they keep moving here, they're going to do a lot of damage to the Galatian Royals. The chariots have stopped though, because they're not being microed. Charge of noble blood against Egyptian cavalry. Egyptian cavalry should lose. The Pontic Royal Cavalry looks like they're going to just hang out, and now the chariots start moving again. They're going to do a lot of damage when moving through like this. The entire Egyptian right flank has been destroyed. In the center, Pontus is doing very well, getting nice kills on mercenary naked swords. The noble blood is defeated, but Egypt only has these very few units left in the center. The chariots are still going strong, still getting kills. They are wavering from taking fire from the light peltas now, so the chariots should go down, but still getting a nice amount of kills. But Pontus having that advantage in being able to bring an additional unit is a pretty big deal, in my opinion. The Royal Thorax Swords are going to do well against Thureos, although the Thureos are holding well when they are in square formation. The chariots are off the field, mercenary naked swords tanking a lot of kills here. The Pontic Royal Cavalry charging in is going to destroy these light peltas and the mercenary Kushite shield women. Egypt is quickly being defeated in the infantry department, and not any cavalry left on the field for Egypt that can make a meaningful contribution. Looks like these guys have sort of been forgotten, but now they're moving back into the fight. The chariots still going strong with 200, well, not strong, there are only three guys left in the unit, but they're still going to be able to do some damage. Mercenary naked swords getting into the peltasts and destroying them. And these guys, if they aren't charged by cavalry and if they aren't fired upon by missiles, they can do a massive amount of damage. I think it's so bad that CA isn't able to when they just break things when they make new patches. So in patch 16, the prices of several units were broken. The prices of your naked swords, the prices of the Illyrian Thureos spears, which gives Pontus an edge, and it gimps the RDA severely. So pretty poor job done there by the Creative Assembly in not releasing a hotfix, because that could have been done in minutes, just changing the cost of the unit, and then it would have been fine. But now we have tournaments where Pontus is bringing an extra unit just because of a glitch in the recent patch. Scythe chariots still getting kills against the thorax swords. Egypt is going to find themselves defeated very soon. I'm just going to fast forward. So nicely done by Poccopacs here with his infantry. Good charges all around in the start, saving his chariots for when units were engaged. I'm not sure that this Egypt build is a good counter to Pontis, but here you can see the massive damage that mercenary naked swords can do, and they are just way too cheap for what they're able to do because of the pricing glitch. Mercenary Celtic warriors getting nice kills. The chariots, of course, did amazing. And nothing on the side of Egypt did really well, except for the Royal Thorax swords. But the general, Pontic Royal Cavalry General, did very well for Pontus. So good game, well played to both players. Congratulations to Poccopacs. He defeated me in the previous round. And now he's going to advance to the next round after defeating KingofEast. So thanks for sending me the replays, Poccopacs. I had a lot of fun watching them. I think a lot can be learned just by watching these replays and seeing how good players use builds and strategies to counter different factions. And I'm kind of surprised that Egypt did not go for very heavy shock cavalry, Agema cavalry, to stop chariots, and that Egypt used these Egyptian infantry, the Kushite shield women, and the Nubian spears. I don't see the reason to bring 3 Tarentine cavalry or Egyptian cavalry either, so I think Egypt can work well against Pontus, but Pontus, of course, has both the horse archers and the very good noble blood cavalry, and currently they have the very cheap mercenary naked sword, so it's going to be very difficult to counter Pontus in this patch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.